Point on silence. On my far right, I have Mr. Johapi Mutonga, who is the provincial chairperson for the Eastern Province. I've got Mr. Chisala, who is an NMC member in charge of fisheries. I've got the mosquito here, Mr. Niso, the National Youth Chairman. I've got the Deputy Lusaka District Chairman, Mr. Akim Mono, and my good friend Robert Fofwa, the provincial chairperson for Chinga Province. So today, after a long time, we are being addressed by our party spokesperson at the National Secretariat. We are used to having him at the government complex. So, Honorable Mweetwa, welcome to the Anderson Kambera Mazoka House, and the media are eagerly waiting for you to address them and share with them some of the issues that the nation needs to know. I hand it over to you.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. And I recognize the spectrum of the party leadership here in attendance, and you, my dear colleagues, the media. Allow me to engage the entire nation by acknowledging that countrymen and women and the youth of our beloved country, good morning. Today, we are having a media engagement from the UPND National Headquarters. And I'm addressing the nation for the first time as Chief Government Spokesperson from this premises. But I'm here primarily in my capacity also as the party spokesperson of the UPND. And therefore, this morning, we have two main issues entirely that we are going to deal with in my capacity as the party spokesperson of the UPND, and also in my capacity as Chief Government Spokesperson, given that I can speak from anywhere like I've done before. So we are also going to transact government business here the same way we have transacted party business anywhere else, if need be. So today's issues are primarily two. Number one, this year is an advent year to the elections of 2026. The first that President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND and its alliance members will be defending. And I would like to indicate that we will be winning. Now, in so doing, as we begin this year, we have begun to prepare ourselves as a party for this election, which is a major test for us, being the first that we are going to confront as a party in government. So, at the center of this journey, therefore, in this year, going into the election year next year, the party has placed at the center of its operations discipline, because without discipline, then there is less that people together can achieve working as a team. It is in view of that today, as a party and party in government, we wish to indicate that yesterday, the 15th of January, the NMC sat here in Lusaka. That is why you see a spectrum of leaders from various provinces here in attendance. The NMC, which is the highest governing organ of the party sat to begin to prepare for 2026. And inter alia, or amongst the things the NMC discussed was the issue of discipline. Because discipline is key to success. And in a party that is led by a disciplined president, all party leaders working with a disciplined president must be disciplined. And all supporters of a disciplined president must show discipline in their various engagements. Because that is the foundation for success. But more importantly, when you are transacting public affairs, discipline cannot be overemphasized. So I would like to indicate here that at its sitting yesterday, the National Management Committee of the UPND, which is the highest organ of the party in decision making, made a number of, but we thought one of them or two of them needed to be communicated to the nation because they are fundamental to the operations of the party and how the party is perceived by the public. Therefore, I wish to take this opportunity to indicate that yesterday the NMC had the occasion to look at two cases of discipline and arrived at the decisions which I shall hereinafter announce. Thank you so much, Deputy Secretary General, for joining us at this very important press briefing. Let me give a precursor to what I'm just about to announce on behalf of the party. That after the last NMC meeting held last year, in which the NMC discussed the need for NMC members to stop attacking its own government, in his own write-up, a member of the national management by the name of Fraser M asserted that he was being suspected of committing crimes against his party and government, and further threatened to take legal action. He wrote as follows, and I quote, in social media. Hello guys, last week on Thursday, 18/07/2024, during an NMC meeting, I was accused of committing crimes against the party, that I have been inciting people to rise against the government of the Republic of Zambia, and that I have been agitating that the happenings in Kenya should also happen in Zambia. These are serious allegations. My feelings are injured and my reputation is damaged. We are prudently studying the direct and incidental utterances made during the said day with a view to setting legal wheels in motion. Regards, Fraser Monde, NMC member, Deputy Chair, Rural Development. And of course. As a member of the highest governing body, he ought to have known that the party has a system of airing grievances and that the NMC deliberations are not for engaging others and the party through social media or any other medium to the public with intent to influence or incite others, especially when such matters were discussed in NMC meetings. His action was contrary to disciplinary regulations number 7A, 7B, 7F, 7G, and 7J of the United Party for National Development, UPND Party Disciplinary Regulations. The Disciplinary Committee of the party therefore recommended yesterday to the national management, the highest decision-making body of the party, for the expulsion from the party relating to Mr. Fraser M. I wish therefore to take this opportunity to announce to our party and to the nation that the NMC sitting yesterday upheld the recommendation to expel Mr. Fraser M from the party, particularly cognizant of the fact that he seems to exude an insatiable appetite to be attacking his own party on social media, on various and diverse issues, when as a member of the national management of the UPND, he knows the laid down rules and regulations to engage, to air views, them being personal or public. So, Mr. Fraser M has therefore been relinquished of his position, which he held as Deputy Chair for Rural Development in the national management of the United Party for National Development, consequent upon his expulsion from the party. This action should serve as a reminder to all members of the national management and all members of the party at various structure levels of the party that the hallmark of success is founded on discipline. And therefore, any member who knows well laid down procedures through which to air grievances and opts to bring the party and its name into public odium and ridicule will be dealt accordingly in accordance with our governing statutes as a party. By this action, the party indicates to all its membership that no one is going to operate above the law of the party, because discipline, the cornerstone and foundation for success, particularly in politics and a politics of the moment, which requires a leadership of discipline, given the enormity of the task bestowed upon it by the citizens of this country to move the nation from its previous and now transient or moving economic malaise or challenge into a better position that our citizens expect. Charity begins at home. And before, as a party, we can expect other people to behave in a certain expected standard of behavior. We want to show that as a party, we are disciplined. We are going into a crucial election year, which requires that discipline becomes the hallmark of our conduct, both in our private and public interactions as leaders and members of the United Party for National Development, the party that the citizens of this country have bestowed the greatest national honor to lead the charge of national affairs. And therefore, all members of the UPND, be it those in the structure and those outside the structure who profess to be members of the UPND, are henceforth invited to demonstrate respect for good conduct, respect for rules and regulations that govern us as an institution that the citizens of this country have bestowed the greatest honor to lead the charge of national affairs in anticipation and exchange for peace and development in our country, in the region, and the world at large. Let me also take this opportunity to indicate that due process was followed in arriving at this decision. And I think later on, Secretariat will circulate a charge letter which was preferred to Mr. Fraser M, giving him an opportunity to be heard and exculpate himself and show cause why further disciplinary action would not have been preferred against him, and that he signed to the fact that he was in receipt of the same, but on the appointed date of hearing, he elected to abscond himself. Therefore, the party, being a party of laws that respect the right to be heard, did exhaust the requirement for him to be given an opportunity to be heard, and he elected not to present his body before the designated committee for him to exculpate himself. Hence the decision, therefore, to have preferred that in the instance the party had to proceed to mete out discipline. This measure is not peculiar to him alone. It will apply to all and sundry, to any member of the UPND who goes against our own voluntarily established rules of engagement as codified through our UPND Code of Conduct. Let me now take occasion to indicate that at the same sitting of yesterday by the NMC, another decision was made relating to a Mr. Kebi Sikangila, a councillor of Chisankane ward in Kafue. The brief and material facts relating to this particular councillor are as follows: that he recorded an audio and distributed it on social media in which he said, and I quote, "I have never seen a useless government like this one. The whole leadership is useless, including the man at the top. I regret supporting such a party." The background to these statements are that the government, pursuant to the rule of law application, demolished illegal structures in the land belonging to Zawa and a forest reserve in which the councillor seemed to have had pecuniary interest in. His action was contrary to disciplinary regulation number 7A, 7B, 7F, 7G, and 7J of the United Party for National Development, UPND. I must emphasize here that the councillor in issue actually did respond to the opportunity for him to be heard by the party, and he did exculpate himself accordingly. Having heard his exculpation, the party, in keeping with its fervent adherence to the rule of law and ensuring that those who traverse the law knowingly that they should be made accountable and that no one should be treated as a sacred cow in the application of the law under the new Dawn administration, something not unprecedented, meaning something this party has done before. The national management of the UPND, laboring on the recommendation of the committee that had his exculpation, upheld the recommendation of the committee to expel him from the party, and accordingly, therefore, that he has lost his seat as a councillor for Kafue Council, and the ECZ, therefore, is duly and hereby notified accordingly to prepare for a by-election so that the people of Chisankane ward in Kafue can be given an opportunity to elect a leader who is going to be in conformity with the work ethic of President Hakainde Hichilema, namely respect for the rule of law, and secondly, respect for the authority vested by citizens and charged in you to execute duties on their behalf to public good and not private and pecuniary personal advantage. The actions of this particular councillor from us as a party appear also to be a violation of other laws for which we have no jurisdiction. and we shall leave everything else to all other interested parties to interrogate this kind of conduct. Let me also take the opportunity now to address directly members of the UPND. The party at its sitting yesterday recognized a growing and becoming behavior of UPND members on social media fora attacking its own party and being purveyors of disinformation and misinformation to the party at large and also to the nation. The party resolved to encourage all genuine UPND supporters or members henceforth to desist from being purveyors of misinformation and disinformation. There has been observed a growing trend there of members of the UPND on various UPND fora pulling all manner of garbage. By garbage, I mean messages. They are referred to as garbage when they are irrelevant. Pulling all manner of garbage in terms of messages from wherever and begin to be the ones conveying and distributing information for which they cannot attest as to those messages being factual. So, the party, given that we are going into election time, is sounding an alarm bell to its members to desist from this behavior. It has been observed also that some UPND members or purported members, as the case may be, are escalating attacks to the party leadership through social media. We want to encourage genuine members of the UPND to desist from attacking party leadership through social media or any other media. Here, let me also be very clear and categorical that we have noticed, as NMC yesterday observed, that some of the fora are actually professed UPND fora. Some of them ascribing themselves by names akin to being UPND media platforms, yet taking the liberty to be attacking party leadership at will. We want to indicate that all those who are in those fora henceforth to desist and stop attacking party leadership. The party has a well laid down procedure of expressing grievances by members of the party who feel aggrieved about certain occurrences. We have never authorized as a party any media platform ascribing itself a name to be a UPND media or related media platform on social media to be a conveyor belt of attacking party leadership for whatever the motivation. the party is making this public, that any such forum that will be identified as enjoying self-aggrandized immunity to be attacking party leadership on social media will be treated as enemy platform going forward. Now, we are not here to threaten our members. We are here to encourage our members that charity begins at home. If we are going to organize ourselves to lead the country, we must also be organized ourselves as a party. There, all those social media platforms that hold themselves in the style of being UPND aligned social media platforms should henceforth desist from attacking their own party. Do not say you were not taught. We do have sufficient opposition, enough to see us through into 2026, and that we must win. But we should not have digressional attacks coming from within. The party emphasized discipline at various levels. And social media has been identified as one of the windows through which party members abuse their own party, including party leadership. Let me also extend my explanation to indicate that it shall not just be those who may be identified as having the habit of attacking party leadership on social media. The party shall deploy all measures necessary and possible to ensure that their sponsors are identified, so that when we root out that scourge, even the sponsors can be reached. When you have been given an opportunity to lead a nation, it is not a joke. You cannot therefore be the same ones to mirror disorganization by attacking unnecessarily leadership for whatever the stimuli or motivation, be it that you may be sponsored. We are aware that the party and the nation are already gearing up in campaign mode. The party therefore is focusing its attention to addressing issues for which it had promised the nation and give an account of what thus far it has achieved and spell out what therefore remains to be done in the next 1 year before the general elections. And we shall not do as a party to have to spend time to begin to fight amongst ourselves when we know enemy number one that we are all faced with in this country is to fight poverty, is to fight unemployment, is to fight the challenges of climate change and position ourselves going forward as a going concern, as a country that keeps on to improve its economic performance for its citizens. That is the calling of President HH. That is why all those who profess to genuinely support him should come with a clear mind that the President has made a call for sobriety within those who have a habit of sponsoring certain well-founded and well-meant social media platforms to begin to attack party leadership or leaders in government are henceforth encouraged to desist If you have an issue with any permanent secretary, if you have an issue with any member of parliament, if you have an issue with any member of the party at any level, if you have an issue with any